my dad left us on Halloween. Honestly, if you ask me, it was a pretty shitty thing to do. He used to dress me up in his favorite costumes ever since I was little. His favorite holiday was Halloween. Pretty sick joke if you ask me, him choosing that date. I don't know why he did it or where he is now, but I truly believed that if I kept wearing them, maybe he would come back.
I just really loved this lead character. Really felt for her. Everybody in the film did a great job. All the performances were very good. We understood very clearly who everybody was, where they're coming from. The mother, the edgy mother, and then her supportive friend, and then her unrequited love at the thrift store. That's how young love goes sometimes. It was sad to see it in that way, but it was kind of a slice of life. I like the idea of this character who dresses in costumes all the time. That was very interesting. That's kind of how she's dealing with her past pain. So that was a very interesting, twist on the character that I really liked, really picked up on. This is a really nicely written piece. It was nicely directed, well edited. Performances were great, and I'd like to see what happens next. I hope things work out for our intrepid hero in one way or another. So, hopefully we'll get another episode sometime. We'll see.
I loved the playfulness and pacing, the very sharp perspective, and finding humor in life's less than perfect evolutions. It really had those delightful tropes of a teenage rom-com, the ones that we know and love so much, with the 80s synth music when we first find our love interest, the quick zoom-ins, that lovely diary-like narration, a quirky lead who you can't help but just absolutely love. But it was all done with such a grounded honesty, and it felt very much its own thing, own creative perspective on it, which made it feel fresh, and it really did grab me by the heartstrings. I also loved the beginning with that fun little 60s doo-wop opener to juxtapose the mildly unconventional family and cast of characters that were about to unfold in front of us. I would love following this cast of characters throughout so many little journeys. So this was a really nice way to introduce us to them, and hopefully there's more from this creative
Very whimsical film. I love these interactions between friends, and the use of music was on point. They were perfect for emphasizing the scene's feelings and vibes all the time. The music just did an excellent work. I think they chose them very accurately. And it sets the tone from the very beginning when they are telling you about the story of the father leaving. And I think the casting was excellent as well. And in general, it was quite entertaining and fun. Even though a bit tragic, but also fun.
Sweet, quirky film. I thought that the dynamic between Kit and Emily was especially charming. I really enjoyed the shots that were chosen when Emily first got to the store and was being taken around by Jasmine, because they were very comic in the fact that they were not actually flattering of Jasmine in a particular way, and yet Emily was still so into her in that moment. I felt like even though Emily didn't get exactly what she wanted towards the end of the film, and things were unresolved, she had definitely gone through a definitive transformation into entering the working world and leaving home, and this is the only moment in which we see her appearing in a slightly more regular wardrobe. So we feel as if she's not exactly where she wants to be, but she's come to a certain place.
Everything about this was so endearing. There were a lot of firsts in this. talking about, that butterfly in your stomach kind of a feeling when you first see your very first crush and you become infatuated with them and fall in love. But the entire thing, I thought that it was shot beautifully. Again, the acting in it was great. There were moments where I laughed out loud. I thought that the lead actress did such a brilliant job. She had this beautiful innocence to her, and I loved it. I really enjoyed it.
This was so sweet. I just felt for her so much because I kind of called it. I was like, I don't think that they are gonna end up together. But I really liked this movie. It was so quirky and fun, and the music was great, and the storytelling was clear, and I really loved the actors. They were perfectly cast. The best friend was so sweet and helpful to her, and she was wonderful, and the thrift store employee that she had a crush on was wonderful and funny. The faces she was making were really great. Good comedic physical action. Just all in all, really wonderful. I loved this so much. I really enjoyed the filming of it, the way it was shot, and the locations were great and perfect, and just really enjoyable. Congratulations.
I loved this one. I thought it was very touching. I thought it was very funny. Even though, they didn't really reinvent the wheel when it came to like a coming of age story. It was very, it felt fresh. Definitely my favorite aspect of it, though, was the narration. It had a very Arrested Development feel to it. My favorite part was when her mother was telling her to move out by saying, "Oh, all salmon swim upstream." And then she was like, she wasn't one for metaphors. And then, of course, the first meeting between Emily and Jasmine was great, too, in that thrift store, because there's all this music that builds up. And you think that they're gonna, hit it off right away, and then I like the abrupt ending, too, just sort of as a way of saying, these sort of stories don't always work out. They don't always end in a happily ever after. Have this happily ever after moment, like most romantic comedies do, but. Yeah, that was all. It was all in keeping in touch with this short film. Yeah, great work. I really want to see more from this director.